You can't focus anymore. You sit down to work and within minutes, your mind starts to wander. Or you try to read a book and you can't get through the page. Maybe even you start a project and within 15 minutes you get distracted. But I need you to understand that you are not losing your mind. It's just that social media has trained your brain to expect constant stimulation. Social media has literally rewired your attention span. It turns you into someone who can't sit still, who can't think deeply, or even focus on one thing for more than just a few minutes. And guess what the worst part is? You don't even know that it's happening. So today in this video, I'm going to tell you how social media has destroyed your ability to focus, but I'm also going to give you an alternative. However, before we start, we do have to go ahead and roll the introduction clip. Hey, my name is Leah and I'm the face behind Content by Leah. Listen, I'm no one important. I'm just a contentpreneur. I'm a content creator who creates content on YouTube, but I'm also an entrepreneur with a business. And I help people make an impact on YouTube by building a legacy that generates income intentionally without social media. Now, I can help you too, but I'll tell you more information at the end of this video. Well, towards the end, shall I say. So let's go ahead and jump into the first point. Social media has trained your brain to expect instant gratification. Social media gives you everything instant. Instant updates, instant entertainment, but also instant dopamine. You scroll within seconds and you see something new, something stimulating, and something that grabs your attention. Your brain gets used to that pace. And now when you try to do something that requires sustained focus like reading, writing, or deep work, your brain starts to rebel. You start to think that it's too boring or it's too slow because whatever it is that you are referring to doesn't give you that instant gratification that you are conditioned to expect. So you get restless, but also you get distracted. And what do? You reach for your phone to get the dopamine hit. But see, social media didn't just steal your time. It rewired your brain reward system. It made you incapable of sitting with anything that does not give you instant gratification. And see, with the deep work, the real learning, or the meaningful progress, none of that is instant. It requires patience, but social media has destroyed your patience. But I don't want to trigger you, so let's move on to point number 2. Your brain is now wired for distraction and not depth. Social media feeds you information in tiny, fragmented bursts. Something like a 10-second video here, a caption there, a meme, a headline. And what ends up happening is that your brain does not go deep on anything. It's always jumping from one thing to the next. And over time, it becomes your default mode. You lose the ability to think deep on one topic, one task, or even one thought. And you end up being stuck in a shallow mode. And what does that mean? I'll tell you. You are skimming through the surface of everything and not mastering anything. And that is called attention residue. Every time you switch tasks or get distracted, part of your brain is thinking of the last thing. So when you try to focus on work, but you just check social media, your brain is still back there wondering what you missed. You are never fully present and you're never fully focused. You are always fragmented, and social media has trained you to be that way. It's made your brain incapable of depth because it only rewards distraction. But let's move on to point number 3. You've lost the ability to be bored, and that is where focus comes from. I get it. People feel that if you're bored, then you're not being productive and you should be doing something. But I want you to know that it is okay to be bored. Bored is not the enemy. It is the gateway to focus. When you are bored, your brain has a space to think, to wonder, and to take up space, but also to create. But social media has eliminated the opportunity for boredom in your life. Every spare second is filled with some type of content. And as I mentioned before, when you're waiting in line, you scroll. Or even when you're sitting in traffic, you scroll. Maybe even you have 5 free minutes and you scroll through that time too. You never let your brain rest. You never let it just be bored. And because of that, you have lost the ability to focus. Come a little closer for this one. Focus requires mental space. It requires quiet. It requires the ability to sit when nothing is happening and be okay with that. There may be something going on, but it's having that willpower to just sit there. Sit there and be with yourself and your thoughts. But see, you can't do that anymore. The second that there is silence or that there is stillness, you reach for your phone. You are trained that your brain needs constant input. And now when you try to focus on something that requires input, your brain just starts to go in panic mode. I get it. It starts to feel uncomfortable, but I get it because I've been there and done that, and now we've overcome. Your brain needs stimulation, so you run to social media. So, yes, you give in. You check your phone, you break your focus, and the cycle continues. But you know what? We're going to end this video on a soft note. Point number 4. Social media has conditioned you to task switch constantly. Social media doesn't want you to focus on one thing. It wants you to consume as much as possible. So it trains you to task switch constantly. You're watching a video, but a notification pops up. So of course, you check it. Or you're reading a post and a story appears, and you tap it. You're scrolling, but an ad catches your eye. So of course, you click that too. You are never just doing one thing on social media. You're always doing 3 things at once. Even if that's watching some type of content and checking the comment section or browsing other places. And maybe even it's playing in the background on one social media platform while you're on another social media platform. Over time, multitasking becomes your default mode. And what ends up happening is that you bring it into your real life. You can't watch a movie without checking your phone. And you can't have a conversation without glancing at your notifications. Or maybe you can't even work on a project without jumping in between different tabs. You think that you're being productive, but you're not. Let me look in the camera when I say this. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain cannot do 2 things at one time. It just switches back and forth fast. And every switch costs you focus, energy, and efficiency. Social media has trained you to task switch constantly. And now you can't even focus on one thing long enough to actually accomplish it. But let me give you an example with a little bit of context to put things into perspective. Not only do we know on social media you get distracted, but also you're only paid for 30 days. Y'all get tired of hearing me say this, but it's true. On YouTube, you are more intentional with what you do. Either you go on YouTube to post a video and you log off, or you go on YouTube to find what you're looking for and then you go back to return to whatever you were doing. But see, what I like about YouTube is that you are paid for longer than 30 days. You're paid for a lifetime. And for me over here, we're building a legacy, but I'm also generating income at the same time. So if you're one of those people who would like to do the same thing in your own way, I can help you come up with a plan that you can execute. But all you have to do is take a look at my website to see the other people that I've worked with. Y'all, this is something that I do and something that I've been doing for the longest. But hey, it's allowed me to live the life that I've always dreamed of and desired. And I'm just a contentpreneur who wants to help you do the same, but intentionally without social media. So if you or you know someone who wants to do that, all you have to do is check the link down below in the description box. In the meantime, I will see you on the other side. But for now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below so that you're notified every time your girl Leah, posts a video. So with that being said, my name is Leah. I'm the face behind Content by Leah, and I'll see you next time.